It's Craft Beer Thursday, which means I'm reviewing a beer and reading some tech news. Today's headlines include Microsoft taking on Amazon, Snapchat launching a developers program, and Elon Musk is at it again. Let's drink a little beer, shall we? Hello everyone and welcome to The Ascent. I'm your host Steve Campbell. It is Thursday, which means that it is Craft Beer Thursday, and I'm just excited to get into episode 76. But before we get into the news, let's look at the beer we're trying today. What we have here is a Hazy Little Thing IPA by Sierra Nevada. So the big thing with this one, according to Sierra Nevada's website, is that it is unfiltered and unprocessed, aka just the way I like a hazy IPA. As you can see here, it is pretty hazy. Can't even see me on the other side. Definitely getting a very faint hop aroma. Much more faint than I would expect from an IPA, but like I said, everything's hazy. Very bitter. Has some elements of citrus in there, has some elements of what you'd expect in like more of a Belgian beer, which is also kind of a hazy beer. It's definitely very subtle as far as an IPA goes, especially compared to the IPAs that I've had recently. This one's 6.7% alcohol, which isn't bad considering that I can't really taste that. And I believe the IBUs, it's only 40 IBUs. And so just to give you a gauge, I think most IPAs that are super hoppy, super bitter are closer towards the 100 end of that spectrum, so 90 to 100 IBUs. This one's only at 40, and so it's no surprise to me then that it's just super low key, and I like it. Giving this one a 4 on Untapped. Now, how about those headlines? Fast Company is reporting that Microsoft is taking on Amazon in checkout-free retail stores. It goes on to say such a system would mean that traditional retailers would have the technology to compete against Amazon Go stores, which allow customers to shop for items and simply carry them out of the store without needing to go through a checkout line. So I don't know how too many people feel about this, but I personally love it because I feel like, first of all, creating competition for Amazon is never a bad thing. Otherwise, they just have free reign to just create a monopoly in every industry they enter, which I'm starting to realize. As far as the whole disrupting the whole shopping experience, and you know, they're making it more frictionless, they're relying more on trust-based systems. I think we're gonna learn a lot about the human race once these roll out nationwide. The way I see it though is that progress is a good thing, and I feel like Amazon's going down this route anyway with Whole Foods, and you know, you could be on that side of the fence where you believe that, you know, all this is doing is just another instance of eliminating more low-paying jobs, but it's something that's gonna happen anyway, and I think that I'm just grateful for the fact that if it is gonna happen, there's gonna be competition. Sips beer. The Verge is reporting that Snap launches a developer platform to bring Snapchat's camera and Bitmoji to other apps, starting with Bitmoji in Tinder and camera effects for Postmates. So without even really reading what this is, I think that this is a very smart move for Snapchat. Plenty of people still use Snapchat, but if you're like me, you're not one of them. And I think that ever since Facebook and Instagram in particular really copied everything they did, that it really left them in a vulnerable place. But I do think that Facebook and Instagram being so successful in copying what they've done with the stories element, I think forced them to sort of think outside of the box a little bit. And instead of trying to drive people away from those other platforms and onto theirs, they instead need to open up their platform and let other people use bits and pieces of it so that you know, they can have a bigger piece of the pie. So yeah, dynamic stickers, filters, you know, the camera functionality that Snapchat has and is famous for, I think that those are all great elements and assets that Snapchat has, and now it's gonna be fun to see what these other companies that are out there they can do with them to integrate Snapchat into their apps. And then lastly, TechCrunch is promoting the fact that Elon Musk has new plans to tunnel into Chicago. So after 5 months of negotiations with the city of Chicago, Elon Musk, who is easily one of my favorite entrepreneurs of all time, struck a deal with the city to create a high-speed rail between O'Hare Airport and downtown Chicago. Musk's plan proposes a 16-passenger autonomous vehicle that can whip passengers at speeds up to 100 miles per hour through tunnels between the airport and downtown. And so for just $20 to $25, which we'll see, this could theoretically get people from O'Hare Airport to downtown Chicago in 12 minutes. I don't live in Chicago, but for all of the people who live there, thank you, Elon, and I appreciate everything you do. that's it. Another successful Craft Beer Thursday is in the books. I have successfully avoided doing freelance work all day, which I will probably have to stay up all night doing. And tomorrow's Friday. See you then.